BombCast Nation, Jason here at BombBomb, and I'm so excited for our 12th episode of the BombCast. We've got Kristi Kennelly with us, who is going to be sharing some incredible information with us. So you're going to want to make sure that you are in tune, paying attention, being able to talk with her. So before we go any further, Kristi, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Before we get into kind of all the great information we're going to share about today, give us a little introduction to yourself. Tell us about who you are.
Well, thank you, Jason. The pressure is on, man. The pressure is on. First, let me say a little happy Valentine's Day to you. I'm so happy
Valentine's Day
together.
Yes.
And let's see. So my background, really quick, because I know we want to get into this. I am a national speaker for Realtor.com. I am a marketing nerd. And in a previous career, I was a cat on Broadway. But please don't let that, now we just might have scared everybody, right? So people are kind of like, hey, that's cool. Hey, maybe not if it's a technical Facebook Live.
I think your clarifier of being a cat on Broadway is helpful than just saying in a previous life you were a cat.
Right. No, I need that clarifying phrase. So I did perform in a few Broadway shows. And that's just fun trivia. I swear I ran marketing departments for a couple different software companies. So we're going to be okay. I just wanted you to have random trivia to refer back to. We can always go back to that. And
I heard gymnast as well. Is that true?
What? Wait, what have you been Googling me? So I can say in my life, I have done 2-man cartwils. I can say that. Not everyone can say that. Can you say that?
No, I've not. I've not done that. So
I'm just saying.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Well, if you're just joining us, we're excited. We're over the next 30 minutes going to go into some extremely valuable content to help you up your video game. If you're just joining us, drop us a heart, drop us a like. It's Valentine's Day. Show us some love. Let us know that you're here. The benefit of being live and joining us is your ability to engage and ask questions. So make sure you're dropping those comments in. We'll be referring to them as we go along. So we're going to jump right in. So Kristi, as a national speaker, you're working with people, helping them up their marketing game, helping them up their video game. Curious, what trends are you seeing? What are some of those things kind of at the highest level that you're seeing people implement into their business that's making a big difference?
Well, so video. It's a good thing we're doing this broadcast, right? And what I'm trying to teach folks this year, what I'm really focused on is how can people replace current tasks during the day or during the month or during the year with video. So can you replace a phone call in a day or a week, whatever is comfortable, with a selfie video? Can you replace one newsletter a month with a video newsletter? And so we're not piling on top of the day. We are replacing with tactics that work, right? With channels and platforms and what people want to consume, which is video. So replacing versus piling on top.
So when you talk about the replacing element, obviously, I think the first place a lot of people go to, well, isn't video more difficult than taking the time to type out a quick email or do my newsletter like I've always done? Where do you see the real return on investment in taking the time to do a video, or does it actually end up saving people time in the long run?
Well, so you're going to see it in your open rates and your click-through rates for surezies. For sure, right? So if you just put a video in an email, a link to a video, a BombBomb video, you're going to see your play rates go through the roof. Your click-through rates go up by 200 or 300%. If you just put the word video in the subject line or the word watch, you're going to start seeing more engagement. And for me, it's worth taking. I just take 2 hours out of my month to make a decent 2-minute video because I get the traction, I get the eyeballs, my click-through rates go through the roof. I'm beating industry standards with all of those metrics. So I don't think it's worth just hitting the forward button on a newsletter if no one's opening it, right?
Right. So when we were kind of chatting earlier, you told me a story about where you were doing some traditional marketing and then you video and it made an absolute difference. Give us a real life example of how this has impacted you and the work that you've done.
Yeah. Okay. So quick story, everybody. This is true. This was like 4 years ago. Some friends and I decided we were going to do something better with our weekend time. And this might sound nuts. This might sound a little weird, but we decided we were going to buy homeless women underwear. But we were going to donate underwear. We were going to find a way to raise money to provide underwear to homeless women. I know that sounds crazy, but no one does that. No one provides that to them. So I sent an email. What's that?
It's a need that's rarely thought about.
Yeah, it's about dignity too. And so anyway, this is 4 years ago, and I cut my teeth on email and video marketing. But even 4 years ago, I was like, I'm going to send an email and everyone's going to care. So no one cared, right? I sent the big, like the 3-paragraph email, and I think my mom gave me $20. Like that's where it ended. So I was with my kid who was 10 years old at the time, and no joke, he's like, Mom, you got to do a video. So my 10-year-old helps me out with iMovie at the time.
Okay.
I make a video, but here's where it gets interesting. I called the video Operation Panty Drop. I'm just going to let that sink in, right? Yes. Operation Panty Drop was the name of the video and what was going on. And I'm not going to bore you with any more features of the story. I will tell you that we've raised over $75,000 at this point.
Wow.
And it was video that made all the difference. All the difference. Well, so I've been doing it since then.
Right. So, I mean, that got you started. A lot of our audience, they're probably just getting started with video or can tell their own stories of how videos impacted their business as well. So let's get into a little bit of some of the nitty gritty. I think one of the things that you do so well is talking about some of the practical elements of what it is that you do. Something that you're always focused on, as I watch your videos and seeing what you're doing, is how you're educating people. And that with that education, you're providing value. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. A lot of times the videos that you're putting out into the world should have an educational element to them, because that's ultimately what's going to lead to the sale. That's what's going to lead to the conversion, as well as the continued relationship moving forward. So tell us a little bit about how do you make educational videos meaningful and provide real value to your audience?
So that's a great question. So I do focus on educating, and I think with video, you either want to educate, inspire, or entertain. So I try to do a little bit of the educating with a little dash of entertaining. There's a chance you've seen me fall off a chair. And how do I do it? Well, so I'm reading content every day. I'm curating content, and here's a free tip for everybody. I use a tool called Scoop.it. Scoop.it is a free tool that helps me curate information, and I will try to uncover a problem. And so my video I will state a problem, then I will try to solve the problem with technology, with a quick app, a quick Gmail extension, a quick video trick, whatever the case may be. And then I wrap it up. And I try to keep them to 2 minutes or less. And I don't know how nitty gritty you want to get. I can talk about the process and the tools I use quickly, if you think that would be helpful.
I think that would be helpful. Give us kind of the lowdown on your process as you go in. You're creating these 2-minute videos. Again, I love that idea that you're educating, you're inspiring people kind of in those elements of what's there. Tell us, how are you doing it? What's kind of behind? What tools are you using? That's a question that comes up all of the time from our audience.
Yeah. Everyone, we all want the tools, right? And so I've gotten my process down pretty well. It's well rehearsed. So the first thing I do is curate, find my content. Now, if you're in real estate, I like telling agents, your content is everywhere, especially right here in your head. Top 5 lists, right? Top 5 lists of the best brunches and bottomless mimosas in town, the best hikes, the best dog-friendly restaurants, the best Wi-Fi for telecommuters, the best, the best, the best. So, people say beauty's everywhere. I say content is everywhere. For my content, I'm curating it through news articles and things. So I find my content. I make my video with Camtasia. So that's the tool I am most comfortable with. And it's the best tool is the one you use, right? Now, I know you guys just came out with a screen recorder, right? With BombBomb.
Yep.
Yeah. That you could use BombBomb screen recorder. I use Camtasia, again, because I'm familiar with it and I use it. I make my video, and then here's my process. I then upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video.
Why unlisted? Yeah.
Unlisted because I am going to send that link, because I don't want anyone to see it yet. I send that link to rev.com, rev.com.
Okay.
And I'm sending it to rev.com because rev.com creates my closed captions. And they do it for $1 a minute. So if your video is 2 minutes, they charge you $2. Like, it's crazy. Crazy.
And that's a question that's come up, and for all of our bombcasters who are watching, who've been kind of a part of previous episodes, we've talked a lot about captioning and its value for social. And then a lot of times your newsfeed, you're not always listening to your videos, but you're reading videos. So that's an incredible. So rev.com, $1 a minute. That is definitely worth $2 for your video.
Yeah, I'm not typing that stuff out. I'm terrible at those kind of details. I mess things up. I know my strengths, right? So I use rev.com, and you're absolutely right. Closed captions will increase people's understanding, and it increases people's desire to learn more about what you're talking about. And we're all just watching video without the sound on much of the time.
Right.
So, how long does rev.com take? They've taken anywhere from 30 minutes to 5 hours on the turnaround. It just kind of depends. That's not bad. I've never waited 24 hours. I usually get it the same day.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So I got that file. Now I'm going to totally geek out on you. Is that okay? I'm going to so geek out right now. I get that file back. Here's the tricky part that's not that tricky. You have to name that file appropriately. That you're going to get an SRT file or a subrip file. That sounds so geeky. You're going to get that file back, and the format has to be your file name. So maybe it's February Tech Tip.
Okay.
.en for English, right? So .en _ US. United States .srt. I know that sounded complicated, but it's not. If people understand that's just how you name the file. That's the hardest part, which takes 10 seconds.
And just to clarify, that's the file that Rev sent you that has your closed captioning.
That's right. So I just have to rename that file with that format. Then I upload that file into Camtasia. That takes me 10 seconds, maybe 5, and I'm good to go. That file is then exported, and I put it into BombBomb. I put it on YouTube. I put it on Facebook. So that's my MP4 that's got my captions in it, and I use it everywhere. But it took me longer to explain it than it is for me to actually do some of that stuff, right? Because you just get comfortable with your own process.
Totally. But what's so valuable is I think a lot of times people don't know where to begin, and then they do it once and it's kind of confusing, and that learning curve can be difficult. So that's incredibly valuable. We're getting some good feedback from people watching saying that's helpful to them. So thank you guys. Keep it coming. Make sure you're asking your questions. If you're just joining us, we've got Kristi on, national speaker. We're talking about how you can up your video game and her process for creating these videos. I think it's time that we actually watch one of them. I went into your went through, found what I thought was maybe one of the better videos that was in there. So we're going to go ahead and roll that and give you an example. It's about 45 seconds. It's not the full video, but you're going to see the captioning. You're going to see how she's editing. You're going to see how she's entertaining. And then at the end is probably the best part. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Happy Halloween and welcome to your October Tech Tip. So according to Facebook and Instagram combined have 1 in every 5 mobile minutes. Sorry about that. And Instagram is the third most popular social networking site. We gotta talk about Instagram. Okay, for my beginners, download the Instagram app. It's really mobile only. And then here's the fun part. When people start engaging, and I think you'll be surprised how many people like your photos. That's it, everybody. Please have a happy and safe Halloween. Actually, this is a great holiday to try out Instagram on. And I'll see you in November. Peace out. Follow me on Instagram. How you doing?
You're back.
All right. So I love that. I love the ending. It's engaging. Tell us a little bit again. So the problem is Instagram, talking about that, educating people, kind of getting them up. How much time did it take you to put that video together?
Oh, it's I've got it down to about 2 hours, and it's worth it to me. Could I take less time? I probably could, but I enjoy it. I do it one sentence at a time, and maybe you notice that editing style. It's like this, right, for the most part. But that's worth it to me because I think of it like a monthly newsletter, and I know I'm going to get the return in terms of eyeballs and traction, click-throughs, all those good things.
Absolutely. So someone was just asking about the software. It's called Camtasia. One of the team put that in there. Camtasia is one of the editing softwares that's out there. It's fairly affordable. They have both a Mac and PC version. Other tools that I've heard of, ScreenFlow is a great tool, especially if you're just getting started. That's kind of the entry level. And of course, most of your computers come with some level of software installed, like iMovie or Windows Movie Maker. It's there. A lot of times it's a great place just to get started and begin practicing and kind of playing around with the process before you make an investment in doing any of the editing. But I agree, being able to add that extra level is going to up that engagement. But do you do that for every video? Do you ever just record a video and send it out? And when do you edit and when do you just send like a live recording?
Oh, well, so I also love one-to-one selfie video. So a lot of people will ask me, how do do I get unbelievable click-through rates and open rates? Like, I want better than 30%. And I don't know about you, Jason, but like in this world, 30% is really good. But sometimes I still have agents, or business entrepreneurs say to me, what can I do to do more? And I say, if you want a near 100% open rate or click-through rate, you do a one-to-one selfie video. So I got another quick story. Can I tell it really quick? So I just recently sent a bunch of one-to-one videos to individual board members of the Los Angeles Unified School District. Okay. So I was advocating for my kid. Ooh, I'm getting emotional. I was advocating for my kid and for our school. And the school talked about, we're going to send postcards. We're going to do this. We're going to, all these traditional things. And I said, oh no, I'm sending a personal video to everyone. So I can show you even for each video. It took me 30 seconds for each video. You could use BombBomb to do this. Use the Gmail extension in BombBomb. Right? Or there's a tool called, there's viewedit.com. There's other ways to do it, but I use the BombBomb Gmail extension, and I would hold up their name. So I said, hey, Nick, and I would hold up their name as I said, in the first few frames, as I said their name, because they saw in the thumbnail their name. Now, who's not going to click on that, right? Right. So not only did every board member open every email, every board member viewed my video, 100% click-through rate, and one guy watched my video 6 times. So that was weird, but it worked. So 100% click-through rate, one-to-one video.
And so that's right. But we see that all the time, right? Because when you're sending personal messages, That's what people skim through their inbox for. When you're sending out large mailings and a mass message, typically that's the thing that people kind of skip over and not engage with as much. But when you're sending it to a unique person and you personalize that subject line and you make it feel like it's just for them, that's to up that engagement, right? And having their name as your, animated preview in the beginning, and even if it's just a smiling face, they're going to click and watch your video. And I think just to a point that you made earlier and talking about measuring, right? One of the things that feedback we get all the time is, well, people, opened my email or didn't watch my video, or, they didn't open my email, and they think that it's not working. And as marketers, we know that you can't be one and done. You have to continue to send. So how many times, Kristi, would you say, let's say someone gets a new lead that comes in and they're looking to follow up with them and looking to start the conversation, the first sale. How many times should they be reaching out to before they stop and just say, this isn't working?
Oh my gosh. Well, so great question. I think studies show it's got to be 6 to 12 times. 6 to 12 reaches, 6 to 12 touches. But I think the first thing you do, the most successful tactic out there, is sending that one-to-one selfie video. And really, can I show you the hardest part of making a selfie video?
Please. Yeah. What's the difficult?
So everyone who's watching right now, I'm going to show you the absolute hardest part of a selfie video when you respond to a lead. So you've got your phone on, right? And we're going to go to selfie mode. Oh God. So like when did that happen? Why didn't anyone tell me about that? So it's just the looking at yourself part that is the biggest hurdle for everyone. And I feel it too. I am not digging looking at myself right now. But we have to get over that, because I know my face isn't freaking you out right now. Hopefully it's not freaking anyone out. It's just our own thing. So if we can get over that hump, and the first thing you do with a lead response is send that selfie video, and it's just taking your phone from here and putting it here. It's the same script. Don't over rehearse it. It's like a voicemail. You're just putting your phone in a different position. It's the same dialogue, the same script. I hope that was helpful. Oh, I got an app that works with BombBomb. Clips. Have you guys talked about that before?
We have talked about Clips before. Great tool, but how are you using it?
Well, I use it for my one-to-one messaging. If I really need someone to respond to me, I will send them a Clips video. So Clips is by Apple. I apologize, it's only an Apple product. But what Clips does is it creates closed captioning as you speak into your phone. It's crazy, and it's really quite accurate. The only thing I had to correct was the spelling of my name, and I had to do it once. So it creates that closed captioning, so someone gets that text, they get the video of you and your message, and if they're in the grocery store line or at the airport or whatever, they're reading your message in addition to hearing it if they're able to. But it's just such a great app, and it works beautifully with BombBomb.
It does. And because once you're done, you can just export it right into BombBomb on phone and send it out. One of the tactics I've seen people use with Clips as well, closed captioning is great, but if you really want to get someone's attention, they've got all the filters and all the things that are sometimes a little bit wacky, but depending on what you're doing and bringing fun into the conversation, that's going to catch someone off guard and make you more memorable. I think sometimes, a lot of times people forget is that you sitting in an office may not always be the most memorable perspective of your videos. And that's why your mobile device is the best one to use, because you can go places, you can get out, you can go to interesting places, and Clips makes interesting little things that you can do, fly-ins that just make it more fun and different. And when people see that, what they see is your investment of time, even though it maybe only took you a minute to do it. What they think is, oh my gosh, this person cares about me enough to have sent me a personalized video. That's different, because everyone else is just communicating through text and our normal modes of communication, and that's expected. It doesn't always make you as memorable. So that's one of the key things too, I think I love about Clips and how they're using it.
Yeah, yep, totally agree.
So, Kristi, let's talk a little bit about, we talked content at the beginning. I want to come back around this because you kind of brought this idea that content's everywhere, but from a very practical standpoint, for the sales professionals that are watching, what type of content should they be sending out on a regular basis? What are the types of themes that they should be making sure? Because a lot of times, even though everyone says can see content's everywhere, where do I start?
I think you start by answering questions that your customers or your prospects continue to ask you. Like, just start there. Is there some consistency there? Are you getting the same few questions over and over again? Start there and make 3 videos right there. And then just really start zeroing in on being empathetic. What is the pain my customer or prospect might be going through? What are they struggling with? What is making their life difficult? What is making them unable to really pay attention at their kids' baseball game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they preoccupied with? And solve that problem and try to do it in a light way, a lighthearted way, and just start there. That's what I would do.
Right. Because that's the stuff that you're doing face-to-face anyways, right? It shouldn't be rocket science of where do I begin? You're already doing this. It's just moving to that format of video. And that's the thing that kind of, I think, gets in people's ways because of what you said. The moment you see yourself on camera, you think, no, this isn't for me. I'll let someone else do it. And the reality is, if you're not, someone else will, right? The video game is beginning to change everything. And so now is your opportunity to continue to make that available, to be in front of people, and frankly, to be better than everyone else. Because right now, it's not being adopted to the levels that it will be in the coming years, because the trend is happening. We see it all the time. You said 4 years ago you were still doing this, but it's still not largely happening. And I think that's the opportunity that everyone has watching, is to say, now's the time to jump in and do these things, take these actions, do it today. Find one person that you can just send a video to, text them a video. If you're a BombBomb user, send them something. It makes all the difference, and don't wait any longer, because the tides are shifting. The tilt will happen. The shift will happen in the coming year, I would imagine. Do you see that same trend kind of as you're speaking around and engaging with people?
Yeah, it's happening now. Now is the time to not be afraid of it anymore. Practice on a family member, or send the video to your husband, or like, you're not going to be perfect the first time, and that's okay. In fact, I have found when I've gone live on Facebook, people mostly like it when things do go a little wrong, and that's authenticity, right? That's the good stuff. That's what people want. And the beauty of it all is the 80s are no more, the 90s are no more, meaning polished video. It's just not required to do the kind of video you and I are talking about. In fact, people like it gritty and real, and they like it if your kid runs around in the background a little bit. It's okay.
Yes.
So I would encourage everyone to not be afraid. Just turn on the camera, grit your teeth a little bit, and do it, and send it to friends or family first. And I bet you everyone sees it immediately, and they will respond to you immediately.
So one tip that I've started using on my phone, because I still feel that same anxiety of seeing myself, is, you know how you have like the hotkeys on the side of like start and stop, and you've got your phone, kind of the camera's here. I've actually started holding my hand in front of it so I don't see myself. The camera doesn't see it, but I don't have to worry about seeing. And then I just use my thumb to start and stop on the bottom. That way, all I'm focused in is on the camera lens, not looking at myself. And I found that to be extremely helpful, because I just distract myself sometimes. And if you're not making eye contact with the camera lens, it doesn't feel like you're looking at the person on the other end. And then it just feels awkward because you're sending a video of you talking to yourself, not them, in that process. So if you're joining us, thank you. Just jumping in, saw a bunch of people just pop in. We're talking with Kristi about upping your video game. We're talking practical ways you can be doing this. Leave a comment, ask us a question. We've got probably about another 4 or 5 minutes that will go before we drop things. Let us know what questions do you have? How are you using video in your business? We'd love to be able to kind of talk through those things. So, Kristi, as people are commenting, you gave me a tech tip when we were kind of chatting the other day about a tool that frankly blew my mind to help people up their video game. Tell everybody about that.
Right. This I presented at Inman just a couple weeks ago, and it went over very well. This is a tool I use regularly. I want you all to write this down. This is free. I want you to write down lumen5.com. That's LUMEN, lumen5, number 5.com. And what it does is it will take any idea in your head. Let's say the idea is 5 easy do-it-yourself home upgrades. I bet everyone watching right now can come up with 5 easy do-it-yourself home upgrades, like paint your front door and replace kitchen cabinet handles or whatever. A list of 5 simple upgrades. You with me?
Yes.
So what you do in Lumen 5 is you put those ideas, copy and paste, or just type those 5 little ideas into Lumen 5. Then Lumen 5 creates a video for you on that idea. It's crazy. It's crazy. So what it's using is artificial intelligence, which is a buzzword right now, right? Artificial intelligence and royalty-free images and royalty-free video. And it's going to do the best job it can to create a video on the 5 easy do-it-yourself home upgrades. It's amazing. Now, is it perfect right out of the gate? No, I would say it's about 80% done for you. And yes, you can put in your own photos and your own video if you want to. So you just have to polish it up a little bit. But I did my first one. It took me 10 minutes. And I'm only making a video that's less than a minute because I want to get that on Instagram, right? And Instagram's got that 60 second limit to do video where you might have just created a list and posted that on Facebook or put it in a newsletter. This enables you to put it in, make a video that people are going to watch. People will watch video on Facebook. And with all the algorithm changes going on, video, live video especially, but other forms of video. And this is a free tool. It's free for now. I would jump in now and try it and see what you can come up with in terms of helpful, valuable information.
Right. After we talked, I went and looked at it, and it was incredible being able to. And a lot of it's that B-roll, right? Like those interesting images that goes with text, that is video and engaging, kind of motion graphics. Those things are harder than typically most people can create on their own, and it's not your face. And so there's times where you want that.
Right.
So
you don't have to lip gloss. No one's lip glossing. You don't have to shave.
Exactly.
So if anyone's going to go to Lumen 5, it might say this is the best way to turn a blog article into a video. Don't let that scare you. You don't have to have written a blog. In fact, it's better if it's just like 5 quick ideas or 5 hot spots someplace in your neighborhood. Even better, short, sweet. You just put that in there and have some fun.
Absolutely. So one of the things I think, a tip as we kind of wrap things up here that I found just in our conversation, and something to be true for the people that, as we've interviewed a lot of people, and we're always looking for kind of those everyday heroes in video, who's really kind of up in their game. There's this consistent theme that I found that the people that are the most passionate that are doing it are finding subjects that they care about and are putting the time in producing it. So you're doing your monthly tech tips because you're spending your time thinking about that. You're passionate about it. It's something that you're using day in and day out. And kind of wrap things up as people begin to think, where do I start? Don't go create content that you don't care about, because you're not going to take the time to record it and to do all this stuff. Find something that you're passionate about, and then let that be your guiding force moving forward. And sometimes that might have a direct relation to your business. Other times it's just a value add that allows you the right to be heard, right? It's about building that trust. And sometimes you can build trust over here and then leverage that into your business. Would you find that to be true as well?
Yeah, well, so that's how I kind of got started with it was a passion to do something philanthropic. I wanted to do something good for Los Angeles. And then I kind of realized, it kind of dawned on me, why am I not doing this in my business? But it started with a passion. So if your thing is wine, if your thing is golf, if your thing is musical theater, start there. Start with something you like talking about, and you'll be surprised how much more you get your fingers in the technology when it's something you're interested in talking about.
Absolutely. And I think, for a lot of our real estate agents that are on, one of the things that I find that they kind of feel like they get pigeonholed in having to talk about real estate. And as an agent, I'm assuming you're somewhat passionate about real estate, or else you may not be in that industry. But that said, sometimes the best value that you're going to provide your audience is to find something outside of those boundaries, spend your time investing it there, and then leverage it to become that person that people know, like, and trust. And video is one of your key ways to be able to get that done. So we're about 5 minutes over here on the half hour. So thank you guys. Thank you, Kristi, for your time and just all the information that you shared. We're going to pop a link up. If you guys want to go follow Kristi on her page, you're going to see the Facebook link here. Check that out. Go follow her. Watch what she's doing. Engage with her. She's a great resource. So make sure you're paying attention to that. It's a great place. So we'll put that in the link as well. Anything else, Kristi, before we sign off that you'd like to share?
I think what's a lot of fun, just piggybacking on what you just said, find inside scoops to give people. So if you're a real estate agent, think about the inside information in your neighborhood that people don't know about. Maybe it's this unbelievable baseball camp that doesn't do any marketing, and they only have 30 kids, and the guys running it are unbelievable. That's the gold, right? The inside scoop. For me, it's usually little hacks in the inside scoop on how to work technology. But for anyone else watching, it's the inside information in your industry.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't, turn on the notifications tab. You'll see it there at the top of the comment thread. That way, when we go live in the future, you'll be notified so that you can join us and make sure that you're asking great questions and engaging with our guests. In our next BombCast, we're going to be coming at you live from Las Vegas. It's going to be incredible. You're not going to want to miss it because our guest is both in real estate and mortgage. It's the first time we're bringing on two people at the same time. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you don't miss it. It'll be on a Monday, a little bit different than our typical Thursday. So make sure you're looking for our information that we're sending out. Thank you guys for your time and attention, and we'll see you on the next BombCast.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day.